gag me, take me to the bunny ranch. People dying, kill me in the packing house.
Hey! Hey.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic.
Great.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very special guest this week. Yeah, I think very special, right?
I think it's very special.
Yeah.
Very, very, very special.
Very, very special.
Not two varies there.
Yeah. Well, you want to get, you got to vary. Yeah.
Just meh.
You want to get the right amount of vary.
I want to get the but not overdo it.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Gin Candy. Hello.
Hello, Mac. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
It's been forever since I've seen you.
I know. I mean, because we met 30 years ago.
I think so.
Like that was Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck.
Yeah. I was busy.
You were a little busy.
Yeah, I was a little busy.
A little preoccupied at the time.
I was bringing home the bacon.
Exactly.
Show my parents who's boss.
Exactly.
You know?
It's like, look what I can do.
Look what I can do.
Meanwhile, I was just there bowling. That's all I got.
Oh yeah, the bowling.
The bowling thing. That was I think when I got to hang out with you guys the most was bowling, and I got to bowl, and you guys had to.
I very much looked forward to that too. Like, it was like, oh, there's going to be a bowling sequence. This is great. Like,
it's always fun, when you get to do other things. You're like,
Yes.
this is exciting.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you don't look forward to like the washing the dishes scene.
No.
It's the bowling.
Yeah, it's the bowling.
Yeah,
Always.
it's the bowling. So here you are in our illustrious studio.
I love it. It's gorgeous.
It's my living room.
Yeah, it's great.
Get to meet my dog and one of my cats.
Yes.
The nice one.
Yeah. Apple.
Not dude. Yeah, he's a real dude. He's a punk. He'll come out. Don't worry.
He'll come visit.
Yeah, he's the talkative one. He's the one who's going to come out here and ruin things.
Yeah, he's just going, "Arr."
When we had Jerry O'Connell on last week, he was just I had to like give him whatever he wanted because he wouldn't shut the hell up. He was just in the background. I was like, "What do you want?" And I think he thought his mother was in the other room, so it was just at the door right there, just going at it.
Yeah,
going at it.
It's probably smelled all the dogs from Jerry too.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got like a rescue.
I know. I asked him how many dogs he had, and he was like, it's an illegal amount.
Yeah.
Like, he actually didn't want to go into it.
He could get in trouble.
I think he actually I think I thought it was a joke, and I was like, the more I was like, wait, no, he's actually
joking.
An illegal amount of dogs.
You're allowed. Well, back in the day when we had all the animals with my dad, I think it was like 2 dogs per like acreage that you had growing up here, and so we had more than that. So I think my dad eventually just bought more land, and so that we had to acquire more pets.
Yeah, exactly. Just buying land for the
it's like,
dogs.
wait, what's the legal amount? Okay, we're just going to buy this property and this property, and then that works,
buy
right?
all your neighbors.
Yeah.
They're dog houses.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's what we did.
Yeah, look at that. Well, so you're originally from Canada. We were talking before the podcast. So, I try not to talk too much before the podcast because save it for the podcast.
I do the same thing. I'm horrible. As I said, you should just start rolling when people walk in.
Exactly. So you're from Canada originally?
Yes, originally from Toronto.
You're from Canada?
In Canada. I am Canadian. Was born in Toronto and lived there till I was about 6, and then my dad decided, he's like, okay, we're going to California, and so he moved us all out here. Yeah, but we went back and forth.
Yeah, your vowels are good. Your vowels are very American.
I've Americanized, except for when I drink or talk to my family too much. The outs and abouts definitely come out.
All the boots.
All the boots come out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Our boy Jake over here, he tries to hide it, but he can't.
You can't. It just slips, and it does.
Yeah. I had an old tour manager when we were doing the Pizza Underground stuff, and he was like totally Americanized, but it was the boots. It was only that. It was only that one word that he couldn't. It's hard. He couldn't hide.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one to hide. It is. The occasional A comes out too. It's like, what A?
Yeah. Oh, A. Yeah. Oh yeah. Fitch me breather once.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So then you moved to you moved out here to
Los Angeles, and then we also were in Chicago a lot too, because a lot of the films were shot in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
So my dad ended up buying a place in Chicago, and we kind of like would go back and forth between Toronto, Chicago, Los Angeles, and then I never really left Los Angeles. Did college here, and then I moved to Chicago for 2 years, and then the winter was too cold, and I went back.
Yeah.
I was like, no, fuck this.
Well, that's the problem with doing these like John Hughes movies that I used to do. Was like they were all set in the winter.
Yeah.
It was always like fucking ass cold.
It was
Like,
always the winter.
Always winter.
John loved the winters. He's
Yes.
like, everyone's gonna shoot there. You'd think there was a discount or something like that.
I always do like seasonal movies for him, and it's like, why couldn't it be like about summer camp? Like, no, it's
No,
Christmas.
it has to be Christmas.
No,
And
I remember one day it was too warm, so they shipped in ice. so like now it's like no, we're gonna make it cold.
Well,
we're gonna make it even colder.
with trains, planes, and automobiles, they had to travel to the snow because it didn't snow. Like there was supposed to be snow. It's like it was like this is supposed to be a Thanksgiving film, and they couldn't find snow anywhere, so they had to like travel everywhere for snow.
Just chasing the snow
Exactly.
around. Yeah. Oh boy. Was your father actually did? It's funny because when John Hughes passed away, a lot of people thought of Molly Ringwald, which but
Yeah.
she actually did as many John Hughes movies as I did, which is not even saying that much. It's only like where it's like your father did 9 movies with him.
Yeah, he did a lot.
Freaking 9 movies with that dude.
My dad and John Hughes, they clicked together, so they just all of a sudden wanted to continue making movies together. It was one of those things when my dad would be like, "Okay, are you writing? You better be writing something because I gotta go find I gotta go find a project to work on.
I need to buy a house for my dog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I need to do something. I got 2 kids and 10 animals I gotta take care of.
I need more acreage.
I know. So that's what he did. It was great. It was great. The two of them were 2 peas in a pod. They were awesome.
Yeah. The Johns.
The Johns.
The Johns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we love the Johns.
So you were hosting a show for a while, right?
Yeah, called Couch Candy.
Couch Candy, which is great.
Thank you.
It's very alliterative.
Thank you. Yes, I loved it. It was fun. I came up with it, literally sitting on a couch at work one day. I was like, I'm going to do a show called Couch Candy, and I'm just going to interview people, kind of like what you do at home, but I did it on a couch, and I recorded it, and it was fun.
Yeah,
It
I
was
need
great.
I need more couches.
I need more couches.
Yeah. I need more couches in my life.
Someone said, well, how about you use 2 chairs? I go, guys, the show's called Couch Candy.
Yeah.
You cannot let me do the show on 2 chairs. But people can see you better on 2 chairs. I go, no. I said, I'm going to fight you on this one.
Well, I mean, maybe it would be the joke is that you never are on a couch.
That also would work too.
You have to really steer away from that skid.
We're on stools, we're on apple boxes, we're on anything but a couch.
Exactly. On hand servants,
Exactly.
And so, tell me about it.
So I created a show called Couch Candy where I interviewed alumni of Second City and SCTV and people who knew my dad and grew up with them. It was kind of to give people, because everyone had always asked me, it's like, oh, what was it like to grow up with those people? Or what was it, tell us stories and all that. And I was like, it was fun to say stories, but I was also kind of like, you know what, let me just have other people tell the stories and I'll record it and then they can hear all these stories. And I would go, we have so many like family photos that my mom took, so I kind of was like trying to pull photos from there and do like video clips and everything.
Yeah.
So just kind of,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was a fun show that I was doing at Second City in Hollywood here, and then I did a couple shows in Toronto. They opened a John Candy Box Theater, which was the training center.
Oh, cool.
For kids at the Second City there. They opened up a theater named after my dad, and so I did Eugene. I had Eugene Levy on my show, and
funny enough, that was the first name that popped in my head. It was like, did you get Levy?
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
I got Eugene. Eugene actually did the
He
show.
called me handsome once.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. at a party.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was like, "You're handsome." And I'm like,
Eugene is
I was
great.
like, "Oh, you flatter me, sir."
He was on my show in Hollywood. And
Eugene, you're
He's the handsome devil.
Ravishing man. You.
He is ravishing. He's very dapper.
He's very dapper. Yeah.
With his glasses and his suits. And He's a very, very. Oh, there's the kitty. You hear him now?
See, I tell you, he just something just pops into his brain and he has to talk.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. He's very handsome. That's the thing. His mother loves him so much.
Yes.
But Jesus Christ, I mean, I am so tired today. He kept on waking me up.
I know that feeling.
I am a fraction of a man right now because of that stupid cat. I swear.
Aw.
But I love him to death.
Good.
So, did you learn anything new about your father that you didn't know before?
Gosh,
I'm sure there was plenty of stories that you weren't privy to.
There's so many stories. I think there's it was more. There was one story that Dave Thomas told that he was talking about.
Wait, the Wendy's guy?
No, not the Wendy's guy. Yeah, I know. I wish everyone goes, wait, you know that Dave Thomas? I was like, no, the other Dave Thomas, the Bob and Doug McKenzie Dave Thomas.
I was just watching the Wendy's training videos. Like, yeah, it was like old-fashioned, fresh, old-fashioned hamburgers. You know, like, it's like, yeah, I love you.
Square cut patties.
Yeah.
No, the other Dave Thomas.
Oh, God dang. All right.
Not
Fine,
that
less
one.
exciting,
but
still.
if for this story you want to envision that Dave Thomas, you're more than welcome
That's
to.
what I'm going to do. I'm going to close my eyes, and you tell me what Dave told me.
But they were talking about how on stage, my dad would do a scene, and he had picked up Dave on one arm, and I think it was like Dan Aykroyd in another arm, and he had like spun them around on stage while they were at Second City in Chicago.
Because he was a big dude.
He was a big guy, mm-hmm. and so Dave always has that envision of just like being spun around. It's like,
yeah. Surprise!
I know, exactly.
Yeah, airplane spin. Yeah.
Yep. Not only did my dad do improv very well, he was also great at physical comedy and like picking everyone up and all that. But no, there's a lot of the stories I had heard before, but I think it was just hearing other things. I think it was also hearing like sometimes my dad's like insecurity with like he didn't think that he was that good of like an improviser or anything like that.
Yeah.
You kind of was like, really?
It's like hilarious.
You're amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
But everyone has their own insecurities.
Of course.
We all do.
Mine's my cat.
Your cat, yeah. That's why we have pets.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I just take it out on him.
Take it out.
I just call him a bastard every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if your mother didn't love you so much, I swear. Well, that's cool. Let's see. Do you have like Catherine O'Hara on?
Catherine is the only one that I haven't been able to have on because every time my schedule with hers, and she was always doing Schitt's Creek at the time. But it was Andrea Martin, Joe Flaherty, Jerry O'Connell. I had him on my show.
Memories from your father.
Oh, exactly. Jerry was great. Jerry's
great.
Jerry's awesome. He was on the show, and everyone just loved hearing his stories. I think he was at the time he had just had an issue with the Genius Bar at Apple, and so he told us about that for his.
I was about to say that
his story.
He can go on for like a half hour about something like that,
and I think he did.
Yeah.
We might have to have him come back.
He's great. He was one of my favorite guests. He's freaking great.
He's such a talker. I worked with him. I met him originally when I was working on Defenders, which was with him and Jim Belushi, which was a law show that they had done.
Oh, I thought it was like the Daredevil one.
I know, not the Daredevil, not to be confused with that. I know.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was like, wait, what is this?
Wait, Jerry O'Connell was Iron Fist?
I know.
Wait, what?
But no, I met him there, and then from that point on, we've always been friends. But he's great. But yeah, I've had and then there's a bunch of other actors like Mike Haggerty, who is a big Chicago actor and character actor, and he was on Friends. And I've had a lot of people on where they're like, "Who is that?" And then they come and see, and they're like, "Oh, I know that guy, or I know who that is."
It's like, he's that character actor.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I know that face from a zillion things.
And most of the time is like those are my favorite shows, are the ones where people are like, "Wait, who is that?" And then they're like, "Oh my god, they had such amazing stories." I was like, "Yeah, because these are really talented people that people need to like take.
Have been around.
You need to
forever.
educate yourself." And one of the reasons I also did the show was because
you wanted to learn people's names.
I wanted to learn people's names. And that's the easiest is to remember, is to repeat it over and over again.
Come to my couch.
Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. Macaulay Culkin.
That's just a mouthful.
Yeah. Macaulay Culkin. Yeah.
Culkin. There you go.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, that's my new name.
That's your new name.
Yeah, that's my new name. I have to go down to the courthouse. I'm going.
Sign the paperwork.
First week of April.
Have you been working on your signature for that?
Well, no. I mean, it's just be double it, I guess.
I know, but you'll be surprised the first time you do it. You're going to be like, wait, I don't know how to do this now.
Here's the thing that's going to be bothersome is the autocorrect on like when I'm like filling out things for like buying like plane tickets or whatever. It's going to be try to keep on putting in my old information. Yeah, and so it's gonna be there's gonna be some nuisance there.
It's gonna be a little tiresome.
Yeah, I'm foreseeing like some troubles. But also I want to see it on my passport. That's what I want to see. I want to see Macaulay Culkin.
That'll be great.
That's what I want. Yeah.
And soon you will see that.
Yes, it's happening. Yes, I'm going in like 3 weeks. I'm going down to the courthouse. I talked to a county clerk and everything. Yeah.
That's awesome. When you get your passport photo, can you also put your name on your passport photo so that you could see?
I'll just write it on my head.
Yes.
Just write it on my forehead.
They're so strict with passport photos now. You can't smile. You can't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? But
in Canada, The dishwasher's going,
I know.
which is great.
It's all right. It's all right.
That's fine.
Stu. It's all right. Stu gonna. Can you hear it? Is it bad? Okay.
But, we were just-
listen. Dishwasher's going, guys.
Just so you know, the place is really clean.
Honestly,
And
it is.
they're doing their dishes, which is great.
My special lady friend, she was like, "Oh, you're having guests over? Like, let me do the dishes.
Let me straighten up and do dishes.
Yeah,
That is very nice.
There was like 2 dishes in the sink, and she's like, "No, gotta run the whole machine."
You do?
Yeah. Well, I can't complain because you know what? I hate doing dishes. So
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing to do.
yeah, I'm actually pretty good about cleaning in general.
Yeah.
but it's the dishes.
The dishes.
That's the one that gets
And
me.
hence that one scene in Uncle Buck, you were doing the dishes.
I know.
Supposedly that
Yeah,
was
see,
like,
they're fucking full circle. This is my second,
and that
yeah.
traumatized you.
Yeah. I still am.
You're scarred. You're scarred from
I'm
that
fucking
scene.
talking about it on a podcast.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. You're twitching already. You're like, oh
I'm
god, I gotta do the dishes.
Just looking, scratching the back of my neck.
You're like, oh, he made me do the dishes.
So, speaking of your show, because always been a big fan of his, and I know he dropped off the map, but Rick Moranis.
Yes.
Did you get him?
I did not.
Okay.
I know he's someone that I
know he's coming back again.
He's coming back. He's kind of not necessarily resurfacing. He's always been around. And
Well, yeah, he just kind of took a break. I know
took a break.
what happened with his wife.
exactly, and
you
then
know,
he was taking care of his kids, and he was always doing.
Yeah, his kids went to school with my younger brothers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
that's great.
they're like, oh, look, there's Rick Moranis. Look at yeah.
But he was doing music and voiceovers. And
Yeah, he was
in
always
Brother
kind of,
Bear.
he was
Brother
kind of,
Bear.
He was kind of dabbling.
Bob and Doug version of Brother Bear.
Oh yeah. I totally forgot about that till you just said it.
I know, which is great, which is awesome. No, he's great. I saw him though last year at SCTV. This was doing the reunion show, which Martin Scorsese's directing for Netflix.
Yes, I wanted to ask you about that. That's going to be awesome.
So they did a live show of it in what was it, Mother's Day of last year, which was awesome. And then they're going to compile and make some sort of documentary out of it. And I have no idea what they're doing.
That's
and
awesome,
I have
though.
no idea when it's coming out, even though my brother and I did some sort of upfronts for it last year, promoting, saying, yes, it's coming out in 2019.
Any minute now.
And I don't think it is. But
I think, Scorsese was too busy working on vinyl.
well, yeah. It was also, there was another thing there. He's like, Scorsese's doing something with DiCaprio recently. I was like, well, he's supposed to be focusing on this, documentary right now.
Yeah, he's a busy man.
But who knew that Martin
He's a
Scorsese was such a huge fan of SCTV? Like he knew every sketch. He knew sketches that I didn't know. I was just like, I was sitting here, he came over and I was talking to him, and I was just in awe. I was like, oh my gosh, I am talking to Martin Scorsese right now, and he is quoting SCTV right now, and I'm like, this is phenomenal.
I think I just stared at his eyebrows the whole time.
Yeah.
I know he's got those brows, man.
He's got brows, but he's just this personality. He
actually seems really electric.
If I can say, he is the cutest gentleman. Like, he's just adorable. Like,
he seems adorable.
He's adorable, and
he's gotten more and more adorable with age.
Yeah.
You watch his scene in Taxi Driver, you're like, oh god, that's a creepy little guy.
It is.
And now it's
now you're going,
oh gosh, you're like, I want you to be my uncle.
You're adorable.
Yeah.
You did Taxi Driver. You're adorable.
Yeah, I know, you're so cute.
No, but it's great. Those Rick Moranis is someone I'd love to talk to. Definitely, but also I got to talk to him just in general, off not necessarily in front of everyone.
No,
I
know.
love that too. I love that I can do that, where I can be
Yeah.
like, see how he's doing and check in with everyone.
Yeah, because I read an interview with him, it was like New York Magazine or something like that, where
Right.
it's kind of just like, it was like the first time he did an interview in 15 years, kind of thing.
know.
Looking at he's like, no, I'm living on Park Avenue South right now.
Yeah.
Looking at just my kids are now old enough. Now I'm thinking about dipping my toe back in the water.
Exactly, which is great.
Yeah, we always had this thing. It was it was my younger brothers. I don't know where this started, but it was they imagined Rick Moranis in a bathtub. All right,
Okay.
But then it became Rick Moranis soup, because it's like any bathtub that Rick Moranis is in is soup. And so now every time I think of Rick Moranis, I envision him in a bathtub, like stewing himself.
Is there a specific kind of soup?
No, it's Rick Moranis soup.
Oh,
yes.
just for Rick Moranis soup. I didn't know if there was a base.
No, he's
or anything
he's
we
the
were
star
working
of the
with.
soup.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Well, that works.
But it's like just cutting carrots and onions and celery into his bathtub. And he's like, Rick Moranis soup.
It's very. I
I have no idea where that came from, but they just did it.
Bugs Bunny-esque.
It very much is, exactly. He's in the cauldron.
He's in the cauldron,
Yeah.
and he's chopping up the onions and the carrots himself, and he's rabbit stew.
Yeah, exactly. Rick Moranis stew.
Rick Moranis.
But yeah, there was a Rick Moranis soup. And,
you
and they were like 9 years old, 10 years old. I thought it was the most hilarious freaking thing. I'm like 18 and go like, Rick Moranis too. That's great. Like, and every time I fucking think of him, I just see him with the glasses on and everything, just like in the bathtub, just souping.
What an imagination you have.
I know. Just little Rick Moranis aside. Yeah.
There you go. What would you pair that with?
Oh, I go with white wine.
White? Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, totally.
Totally right. There we go. That's
yeah.
good. That's good.
Mhm. Yes, no, of course. Like, yeah, we all know what you pair a Moranis with.
A fine wine.
Crazy person. Like, yeah, no, like a nice Chardonnay.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Good.
Sounds good. So you worked on a doc about your father.
Yes.
Yes.
There was actually there's a couple of documentaries they did. I think A&E did one right when he passed, and then Biography did another one, and then a couple years later it was called
The Two Corys?
Yeah, the two Corys. No, it was double blue. There's still the double in it there, but it was more of it was for the Toronto Argonauts, and they kind of did like an encompass of like his whole entire life, and then it led into like him owning the Toronto Argonauts, which was the Canadian
he
football
owned the
team.
Argonauts?
He did own the
I
Argonauts.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he owned the Argonauts with Bruce McNall and Wayne Gretzky. So, and then Bruce McNall.
Canadians.
I know. Those crazy Canadians.
You Canadians.
My dad couldn't play football, so he just bought a team. So that was his thing.
Well, bravo to him.
I know,
like,
but seriously, what shoes do you have to fill for that? It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Everyone's like, do you want to be like your dad? I was like, I just, want to make a
How
living.
many John Hughes movies do I have to make to buy a freaking football team? Like, yeah.
A lot, and he did. So
Yeah.
thank you. But then they sold the team because Bruce McNall kind of got into a little bit of trouble financially.
Wait, what do you mean?
He was paying some all the revenue that was coming from the Toronto Argonaut ticket sales was going to paying off the debts for the Los Angeles Kings.
Oh, wow.
And so it all kind of he spent a little
Wayne
time.
Gretzky was on the Kings.
And Wayne Gretzky was on the Kings.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
it's all connected.
Yeah. My dad was lucky though. My dad.
I was about to say, how does this connect to your father, other than the fact that he got drawn in?
He got thrown in. But he capped out like financially. Like he only put in a certain amount of money, and everyone else put in a shit ton of money. And so when
he was just the face.
Yeah, he was just the
He
face.
was the face man.
He was the face man, and but he would.
Fuck that Wayne Gretzky guy. We want candy.
We want candy, and that's what Toronto wanted, really. But it was Gretzky.
Also,
It was also Gretzky too. I don't know, Gretzky. It was amazing. It was a very an electric time for Toronto. The Argonauts won the Grey Cup in '91. And I don't think had won a Grey Cup since they created the team way back in the day.
Yeah.
But it started. They started.
Is it where Flutie played? No.
Yeah, Flutie played.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Flutie and Rocket Ismail, who was
Yes.
that was the whole thing is he turned down going to the NFL and went to the CFL, and everyone was like, "What? He's nuts!"
I love that. It's a great nickname too, like Rocket.
I know, the Rocket.
Ismail.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But no, that was So my dad owned a football team, so that was pretty epic.
That's cool. That's cool.
Surreal. That was weird.
Yeah. Are you into football or like?
Do you know what I am? I prefer CFL. Like I prefer the CFL. Like
they have shorter field and stuff, don't they? Or it's a longer field.
It's a longer field.
There we go. That's what it is.
Longer field, wider field, bigger balls. And
Go on.
And that's
Hold on.
That's all I have to say.
You're giving me a sell.
Like it.
Wow.
Doesn't that sell it already?
Wow. Balls, big balls.
Big balls.
I like big balls.
It's more like a rugby ball. So those are the balls we're talking about. But it's rugby and
so misshapen balls.
Yeah, exactly. Slightly misshapen. Not the tiny US ones.
Rugged or rugby?
Rugby.
Oh, okay.
Rugby,
Rugged
like
balls.
the sport.
Yeah, gotcha.
But it's fun. It's and they also it's a faster paced game. They do not stop the clock every single time. I think with the NFL they constantly stop the clock and it takes forever.
No, it's like 3.5 hours to watch 15 minutes of play
we
or
all
something
watched
like that.
this last Super Bowl. If anyone wasn't falling asleep, it was.
I've been out here for LA, this past year, and so I've been watching the Rams. I was like, this team's going to go to the Super Bowl. They're going to take it all the way. And then it was agonizing. Yeah. It was what it was.
No, it was very agonizing.
Yeah, I was out of the country too, so I actually had to watch it at 4 a.m.
Oh.
And so it's I'm already tired as shit.
Yeah.
And so
it was uneventful.
It was
Nothing.
a slog.
The commercials were horrible. Sorry for anyone who had a commercial that I knew in the commercial. But the commercials were great. Speaking of, my brother had a commercial in the Super Bowl. So, but
really?
It had aired before, so it wasn't technically a Super Bowl commercial.
But it was on the Super. But it was on the Super Bowl. It was on the Super Bowl. So it was a Super Bowl commercial.
But it wasn't a new Super Bowl commercial. But like the commercials were just mediocre, and because I remember you would watch the Super Bowl for the commercials. And it was
What's that?
And all of the other the what's the monkey baby, like the Mountain Dew one? I don't know. Like
the Doritos girl. We all remember the Doritos girl.
The Doritos girl. They're all great.
She was married to Mario Lopez for a minute.
I think so.
Yeah, for literally like a day.
A day? There you go.
No, not making that up.
Less than 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Change it.
Yeah. So to answer your question, do I like the sports? Yes, I like the CFL. I like hockey.
Do you watch the NFL though?
I do.
Yeah. What's your team?
I am a Bears fan because that's where I go. My husband Chargers. And so it's a torn house, but it's okay.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. They're different. They're different conferences.
But they're different conferences, so it's okay.
You only have to fight every 3 years?
Exactly.
Something like that. Like,
exactly.
Yeah. Because neither one of them's going to the Super Bowl.
No.
In your face.
Nope, I know.
Listen, I'm actually more of a Giants fan.
Are you a Giants fan?
I'm a New Yorker.
Yeah. No, the Giants are great. Like
we just traded Odell Beckham yesterday, like the best receiver in the NFL. Yeah, we got 2 draft picks for him. Yay.
But no, it's good. I enjoy any sport really. I'll watch.
Yeah, you watch any basketballs.
We've been watching the basketballs. I watch the basketballs.
You like shooting hoops?
I am horrible at shooting hoops. I like to think I am amazing until you actually see me do it, and I am absolutely horrible.
You do like this?
Yeah, it was like, let's play horse. How about shorten it to pig? Because I can't do.
I'm going to shoot a home run.
This is too long. And I went to a hockey game once, and I think I was around when my dad was alive, and we used to bring a friend of mine. There was these. I just always remember these couple next to sitting us, and they were so drunk, and we called them. Their name was like Jerry. We had nicknames for them and everything, but the woman was plastered, and she's like, get the basket and get the ball in the basket, and you're like, what sport are you watching right now?
Exactly.
And she's like, just shoot the basket,
Goal!
just shoot the ball in the basket. We're like, well, she is clearly doesn't know where she is right now. It's a puck and it's a net. Get it straight.
Touchdown.
Yeah. Yay.
Right.
Sports.
No, honey.
Oh, gosh. Oh, Baldy and Jerry, because the guy was bald. That's now I remember. I was horrible. I can't believe I apologize to anyone that's bald in the room right now, but I did call him Baldy.
Stu, we're looking at you. Yeah, Stuart's here, by the way, guys. Just sitting here being creepy. It's great.
That was, what horrible nicknames I had. No,
Baldy.
Baldy and Jerry. Wow. That was just a flash of what his nickname was.
That's what we're here for. Like, nostalgia.
It was nostalgia there, but it was great. And pure entertainment.
Nice. I need to take a pee.
Go for it.
So let's take a little break.
Go for it.
And so there's a good time for a commercial or something like that.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Buy something.
Voicemails or something. I don't know. Bye.
On this day in science, Harlow Shapley and Heber D. Curtis held the great debate on the nature of nebula, galaxies, and the size of the universe at the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History. Shapley argued that the universe was so big Curtis's mother was able to use it as a bath towel. Curtis respectfully disagreed, asserting that the universe was in fact so big Shapley's mother mistook it for her own shadow. Both men were later kicked out of the Smithsonian for causing a disturbance. I'm Mary Tyler Most. This has been This Day in Science.
26 minutes into the podcast. What? Yeah. All right.
You're live.
Yeah, no, I saw the red light. That's what? No, this is for everybody.
Yeah, everyone can hear
This is
it.
not just for me. This is not just for the room. This is for everybody.
That was the show.
Yeah. How far into it? 26 minutes. Yeah. Getting all a little Durst on you.
Yeah.
Little Fred Durst action.
Well, there you go.
So, I missed part of that conversation when I was out of the room peeing.
You were peeing, and
Yeah,
we
it
were
was
talking,
just
we were
totally
just
worth
talking
it.
nostalgia. We were going back to the CFL and the Toronto Argonauts, and just being how it was like.
You're talking to Jake, the other Canadian in the
the other
room.
Canadian Jake,
Yeah.
and it just how it was this surreal time, and saying the Argonauts did these. like back in the day, my dad did these commercials, and so he was in Rome doing commercials for season tickets for the Toronto Argonauts. And
So he was in Rome doing something about a Toronto football team.
And
That's great.
And he would actually, you can go on the Toronto Argonauts, like I think their Twitter pages where they posted all of these things, but it was like one of those things where they had your phone's going and then my phone's going too at the same time.
I know. Look at that.
It's crazy.
I know.
It's not the same person.
I know. We'll just merge calls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but it was really great because it was hysterical because they were asking people in like Rome, like, oh, do you like the Toronto? It's like, and they were dubbing over in voices.
But
going,
of course, I do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they were talking and they were like, oh yeah, we love the Toronto Argonauts. We're fine. It was very dated and it was hysterical and very funny.
Yeah. So you said they were started replaying them again recently?
Or they just, I think they were just re-showing them. It's just because it was my dad's, it was the, oh my gosh, 25th anniversary? How many years is he? It's been gone way too long. But on the 4th was 25 years. And so.
Oh, geez. We're all getting old, aren't we?
We are all getting old. So they brought those back to just kind of
But
be
it's
like.
not lost on me. I was like, oh, we haven't seen each other, 30 years?
I know, 30 years.
Oh, gosh.
I
Look at
know.
me.
It's when I think about it, I was like, oh, God, it's a lifetime ago.
I know.
Many lifetimes ago.
No, exactly. Yeah. No, I've been like 12 different people since then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all have.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've changed my hair color, it's ridiculous.
Now, do you remember when we first met? Because I don't.
I don't really. I just, like I said, it's the bowling alley is the only vivid, like, actual encounter that I remember. Oh, and I think
I wasn't very memorable. Okay, I'm joking.
No, everyone, you were, and I think it was.
No, we're all 8. Like
I know.
I don't even remember what I had for breakfast. Come on.
I know exactly. I can't remember. Like it was. I remember. I just remember being in the bowling alley. I remember they put me in a scene. Like it was, I was always put in scenes, but always cut out of every scene too. So it was like, were you in any of your dad's films? So I was like, oh yeah, but I'm on the cutting room floor. Like I never made. I
always got the shitty parts.
Exactly. Yeah. I got my SAG card, but I never got. There's no reel to follow it. Which that would have been really sad if when I was getting agents. Did you have a reel? I was like, here's everything from when I was 5.
Yeah, exactly.
And nothing from when I'm 20.
Yeah.
But no.
Well, I bet your reel's better than Sofia Coppola's. Hong Kong Kong. Rap horn.
I'm not saying anything. It's all on you. I play neutral.
Yes. Good for you.
Thank you. I am Canadian.
Oh, it's true.
We get sound effects and everything.
Sofia Coppola burn.
Oh,
So you're real.
There's real. That's a great follow-up. So you're real. Really, nothing that exciting.
No Godfather 3s in there?
No Godfather.
Oh, damn it.
A lot of Disney, but that's about it. But no, I'm trying, like that was, I remember the bowling alley and you being at the bowling alley.
Yeah, like I said, that was.
And we bowled, and like I think that was like during in between takes we got to bowl.
Yeah,
bowl
it was
together,
all about. Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah,
but you were busy. You were making a film.
Yeah, it's also like with the kids, it's also like they want you to have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But then they also want you to turn it off when the camera's off, and you can't. So it's always about keeping the kids busy. So like we're shooting at a bowling alley, they're like, just keep bowling.
Yeah.
Like.
And then
pacify us.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then I remember you guys had to go to school at one point, and I remember going back to the school with you guys, and you were learning something, and I was like, I don't have to be here, so
exactly.
So I went back and bowled.
Now I remember why I don't remember. Because I was jealous.
Because you were jealous because you were in school, and I was not.
I had to sit there learning multiplication.
Yeah. Oh God, it was never...
And you got to bowl.
I did.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So that's pretty much you just blocked that all out because it was pure hatred.
It was traumatizing. Yeah. Pure visceral hatred.
Yep, that was what it was. That's why we never talked from that point on.
Yeah. Until now. And I still hate you.
And you still hate me.
Yeah, no, you're still
right here,
you're still
right
a terrible person.
Right back at you.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I guess that's it, guys.
That's it, right? What are we at? 36 minutes now?
Yeah. Not even. Jeez.
Oh, right, spot on.
Oh, really? Wow, way to gauge time.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
It's one of my hidden talents.
So I just found out. So you did Camp Candy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I got to do a couple voices. It was the second season. I got to do the voice of Vanessa, the Valley Girl. And my brother got to, I can't remember, he had another character that was like created for him.
I loved Camp Candy.
Camp Candy was great.
Yeah.
And I always feel bad because everybody was like, you did Camp Candy. I was like, yeah, I did. I did like 2 episodes in the second season, and I wasn't the original Vanessa. Like the original Vanessa, I don't know.
I can't say I noticed when I was 9 years old.
Yeah, and no one does. But I remember I had to audition for that. My dad was like, "You're auditioning for this," and I was like, "Okay." And I remember we were working.
This is not a Coppola situation.
This was in a Coppola situation. He made me. I told my dad, I said, I want to do a Valley Girl because Vanessa was a Valley Girl. And she was like, oh my God, like really? And I remember doing that. And my dad went, no, don't do that. And I was like, but she's
do better.
Like, cause she says, he was like, do your real voice. And I was like, no, but I really, and we had an argument like over how I should do my sets. And he's like, I want you to just read the script and not do a voice. And I was like, fine. And we had this huge argument about it. And I did it the way he wanted. And then we went in with the casting director, Ginny McSwain at the time. And I did it that way. And she's like, Jennifer, I'd like you to do it with an accent. And I remember looking at my dad through the window going, really? Would you like me to do a Valley Girl accent? And she was like, yeah, that's exactly what we were looking for. And my dad just kind of looks down. He was like, oh, I was just trying to have her be herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Like, but I, you know.
But your father was there in the casting room too?
Yeah. Well, it was, he was the producer, so I did kind of have
still,
a little bit of an.
I know, still. There's so many layers there.
There's so many layers. But it was fun.
What if your dad was like, nah, she's not gonna.
But I wouldn't have been surprised.
But I'll see you at dinner tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't have been surprised. I got cut out of everything else, so I'm surprised I made it a Camp Candy.
Just never good enough.
I was just, these shoes are way too big to fill. Why I became an actor, I'm not sure. Years of therapy.
So loaded.
You
Jesus.
would think, like, years of therapy would have strained me a different direction, but clearly not. But yeah, no, Camp Candy was great. I also got to do some voices. He had a show called Radio Candy, which was a radio show.
Okay, yeah.
And Radio Candy with a K. So
to throw people off.
K-A-N-D-Y. Yeah, it was.
Didn't want people to know which candy it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'd be really confusing. But no, they shot that up in Toronto, and then they eventually did some shows here, and it was kind of like a variety hour of, they had all of his friends. He came, they did voices and sketches along with music stuff. And so I remember doing a couple little voiceover things. If they needed a little kid, I would do that. That was always fun.
Oh, there you go. Little whiz kid.
Little whiz kid. Didn't get cut out of that. So it was good.
Yeah, you do a good amount of voice work.
Do you know what?
Because everyone wants to do more voice work. Even people who work on voice stuff, they always go because it's so easy. You can go in your pajamas.
You can. It's the greatest thing. No, I did.
I'm in my pajamas right now.
Yeah, why not? I should have gone in my pajamas. But no, I've done voiceover. Surprisingly enough, that's what I've done. Older too. Like I did a lot of Disney voiceover stuff, and it's always been fun. I'd love to get into it more. It's just. It's easy. It's not that it's easy because it is still really difficult.
You actually have to be really animated.
You have to be animated.
No, if anything, that's the trick. You have to use your face and your hands a lot.
You have to act. It's just the thing is there's not a camera on you. There's a microphone in front of you, and you still have to be. You can't just stand there going, "Yay, this is fun." It's like
no. You have to use your face.
Really get into it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because then I always think that's kind of cool. Because then the animators will actually go based off of like what you're doing.
They film you when they do it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
And so that's the key.
Yeah. No, it's.
Do you like doing voiceover stuff?
I mean, yeah, sure. Yes, of course. Because again, it's easy, and you can do 4 episodes of something in one sitting.
Yeah.
And, it's yes. Because I had I like many people, like your father, had a Saturday morning cartoon show as well.
Right, I remember.
Yeah. Everyone had one.
I remember.
I think Rosie O'Donnell, had one at one point.
Probably.
Howie Mandel. It's Bobby's World.
Bobby's World.
Yeah.
I was a voice on Bobby's World.
That's where I was going.
I loved Bobby's World, and my dad.
Yeah.
Exactly. My dad's best friend Tino Insana played Uncle Ted. And so I was like, everyone was like, I know Uncle Ted. It's like my Uncle Tino's Uncle Ted. I got to do a voiceover for that. And because it was the same producer, Ginny McSwain, who produced Camp Candy, also produced
Bobby's World. Yeah.
And then I forgot you had your cartoon show.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was really terrible.
I don't think it was terrible. It was on Saturday mornings, right? Was it part of the whole?
They put us up against the Ninja Turtles. So
That's tough.
See, there you go. Right,
Yeah.
I'm dig up.
How many seasons did you do of that?
What's that?
How many seasons of that?
Oh, just one.
Just one?
Oh yeah. I think we got about like a dozen or so out of it, something like that. But yeah, it's one of those things that I'm both like proud and ashamed of at the same time. It's great. Proud shame.
Proud shame. It's great.
Yeah, little proud
Look what
shame.
I did.
Yeah. Anything that you're proud shamed of?
Oh gosh, there's tons of where do I begin? We need a whole other 36 minutes, 40 now probably, but no, I can't think of anything. I'm actually everything I do is probably a proud shame.
Honestly, touche. I feel the same way pretty much about everything. Like
Just in general, it's like I'm very proud of that. A
Yeah.
little shameful, but I'm very proud.
Yeah, no. It's like, whenever somebody like flatters me about something, I'm just like, oh God, just like that's the thing.
Yeah, that's what you remember before?
oh God.
Oh, thank you.
It's like, listen, I love party watcher just like the next guy, but Jesus Christ. Like,
Yeah, college probably was a whole proud shame experience for me.
just the entire college experience.
Yeah, let's just.
Where'd you go?
I went to Loyola Marymount University, which is right, LMU, which is right by LAX there.
Yeah, it's
so the giant
home of Hank Gathers and Bo Kimball. And all
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, no, I that's where I went. It was great. It was fun.
Yeah,
Theater
you
major.
did your full 4 years and
I
stuff?
did my full 4 years.
Yeah.
I wanted to do college. It was kind of one of those things that my dad didn't go to college, and so he was like very
So,
adamant.
of course, it's important.
It was
that
it
you
was
do
one
it.
of those things that I did it.
That's
and
classic.
That's the
that
classic.
old chestnut.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the social aspect of it. I enjoyed the learning.
Was
part
it just like drama, or was it like musical theater?
It was a combination of both, but it was so funny. I went because I was like, I'm going to be an actor, but did nothing. I did a couple acting classes, but I did everything else but acting because I did stage makeup, I did stage managing, I did,
isn't that just the way,
directing. And so I ended up, my thesis was in directing. And so I directed Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, cool.
And so that was my senior thesis.
Starring Rick Moranis' Soup.
I know.
Yeah.
And I even added my dad's character because I'm blanking on the name, Winkle. That's the only part that I remember.
Not the Winklevosses.
Not the Winklevosses, but not Rip Van Winkle, but okay, come on, people, you'll probably
You're
Google
the
this now.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
Sean's gonna look it up.
I'm blanking on it right now. But I had his character because he was the radio host interviewing Rick Moranis. Wink, that's what I was like.
Wink, Winkinson.
Rip Van Winkle. It's like
Wink, Winkinson. Everything is weird.
Everything is weird and great. Yeah. So that was awesome. I had that little bit. I added that into my the
That's
play
awesome.
version because it's not in the play version.
It's not in the.
But I was like, that was my little homage and thank you to him. But no, yeah, college. I enjoy college.
Yeah, and you said you directed that?
I directed that.
Nice.
I did.
Was that like your senior thesis?
That was my senior thesis, and I actually directed it, which is I was.
It's better than Oklahoma, something like that. Like, yeah, that would be a really
at the
lame
time
thesis.
they picked two musicals. It was Jesus Christ Superstar and Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, it's like, oh man,
Seymour was also played Jesus.
I was really hoping for Anything Goes, but all right, fine. Any Get Your Gun. That's
That would have been great. No, but I love Little Shop of Horrors, and so that was for me. That was a fun play to do.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you carry a tune?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, but
My mother says I can. My mother says I can.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to.
People that love me love my voice.
I know. I love my voice.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
great. I have a voice of an angel.
But yeah, the more I think about it, I'm like,
my husband's like,
those people
really?
love me.
Yeah.
They
have to say that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I'm like,
I had to do a solo when I was living in Chicago. I did the conservatory there, which was the training program for Second City, and our final show, a friend of mine, he wrote a solo for me to sing, and I was like, oh, good Lord. And I really didn't sing it. I sung it. It was...
Oh, you were doing that, yeah.
I did the spoke sing because I was so nervous. And I had to, like, it was
Def cram.
Yeah, it was just, it was one of those songs where it's the stereotypical, the lady singing by the piano, and it was that, and it was a song called Drinking for Two. So it was like you would reveal, and I was pregnant, and I was drinking for two, and it was this like very duet. Not a duet. Well, I guess it was a duet.
Actually,
if the baby
it'd be
was
funny if
singing.
you were holding the mic to your stomach also.
Exactly. But she was drunk and drinking for two, and it was the
That's
greatest
great.
song.
That's cute.
And my friend wrote it for me, and it was a great song, and it got lots of laugh. But I was terrified to sing it because I just didn't think I could sing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love singing. Don't get me
You
wrong.
should have been drunk.
I should have been drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
I really probably should have been.
Yeah.
But I didn't. And
Well, yeah,
wasn't.
I was in a band, and it was like, I need a lot of liquid courage to get up there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I was that kid that was like, no, I'm not going to drink while I'm doing a show. And now I'm like, yes, please.
Yes, yeah. Gonna be like a
Yeah,
fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fish this
That's
one.
what college also taught me.
I was about to say, yeah, probably, yeah.
How to hold your liquor.
Yeah, exactly.
Or not.
Yeah, that's what I majored in.
Yeah,
Look at
exactly.
yeah.
That was my minor.
And you said you were doing like some classes and things like that. Like what kind? You like kind of a sketch comedy kind of like background. Like I mean, like you ever do like UCB? Like where
I
what's your...
studied. I did mostly Second City, Los Angeles, and Chicago.
Why? No, I'm kidding.
I don't know. It was just something that someone told me that I should do, and I was
Why'd
like,
you pick that one?
I don't know. It was just kind of like I just looked at a book and went, "Oh, this looks good."
Yeah. You see, it's Yellow Pages. Yeah.
Because it was in our lineage, and I gravitated towards
Well,
it.
because the comedy shop's named after you, Dave.
Yeah. No, but I loved it.
I know.
I
I'm
enjoyed
just
it.
teasing.
And no. It was, everyone asked me, they're like, because everyone comes to me and they're like, well, where I want to study, where do I go? Groundlings, do I do this? Do I UCB? And I was like, look, they're all amazing. And I studied at Groundlings too, and I love Groundlings. Groundlings is more character work, and Second City at the time was more ensemble work, and you work as like a team. And so I wanted something, I think it was also so that no one had to focus on me, that everyone was focusing on
sure.
the group.
No, I'm sure there'd be some pressure walking in there that first day.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's also terrifying because then
No, 'cause,
you're
also
like, you're not funny, and it's like, oh,
I mean, it's terrifying, but also double it with the, when it comes to what your last name.
the last name. And so,
Believe me, it's
it's
hard to have a first impression.
Yeah,
when you have a name like that.
Yeah. It's hard, but it's you do the best you can, and you hold your own, and that's the best you can.
And how'd it go?
It went fine. I didn't make it into the touring company. Let's say that.
Oh no!
I auditioned twice, and they both said no. I was like,
Oh, no.
Damn it! But do you know what? And when I think about it, at the same time, I was like, I really don't think I wanted to do the touring company because I was done with Chicago at the time because I was homesick. I was like, I'm ready to come back to LA. So.
Yeah.
And so then when I came back to LA, I did shows here.
How long did you do it for?
I was in Chicago for 2 years, and I did the training. I worked in the box office, and I did classes. And
It's pretty much like you mop the floors, you do whatever it takes.
Yeah, you do whatever you take. So it's like you had the choice to either be like part of the wait staff or bartending. And I kind of was like, I don't know why they threw me in the box office, but I was good.
Actually, that's a sweet gig.
I loved the box office.
I'd much rather work the box office than work tables.
Exactly, and I got to answer phones, and it was a lot of fun. You got to meet some really interesting characters, and I remember there was one time there was a gentleman who came up to me. There are a lot of people love to just tell you who their favorite people are or why.
I love Eugene Levy.
Exactly, that's what it is. They also love to tell you who their least favorite people are, and so I was there selling a ticket to this one gentleman. And
Have you seen this Candy person? She's terrible.
She's terrible. She's horrible. But no, I had a guy come up to me and he was like, "Oh my God, I love SCTV. It was so great. I love more of the later years, with Rick Moranis and all that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, it's great. It was horrible on the show." And I was like, "Oh no, who was horrible? Oh, John Candy. God, he's horrible."
Go on.
And I was like, "Oh really? I'm sorry that you felt that way. It's
just look me in the eyes and say that."
And so he went on
you have
and
the same
on
eyes.
and on. Exactly.
You
I
do.
know.
You have the same eyes.
It's a weird.
Honestly, it throws me off sometimes.
Yeah,
my
husband's like when because my brother and I are it's like we look the same, but we're also very different. As my husband says, it's like when you smile, you are your dad. When your brother frowns, he is your dad. Like it's like, but you've got the swapped face. It's like it's a very bizarre. No, it's
the comedy drama thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what we are.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes my brother's a little funnier than I am. But
oh really?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I used to have that same feeling about my brother. I decided to become funnier.
Yeah.
I just worked on it.
You're like, I'm going to work on it.
I'm going to work on being funnier.
Yeah.
Man, he has my mom in hysterics. I got to work on her.
I'm going to show approval. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to beat you with this funny thing.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But no, yeah, it's my brother's hysterical. But yeah, no, the guy proceeded to keep telling me just on how horrible he hated John Candy. And then my friend who was working the box office, he turns over, he says, "Are you going to buy a ticket or what? If not, you need to leave now because you just need need to shut up.
No,
And
see,
was-
I would just always go like, go on.
I know.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh,
okay.
I did. I just kind of like smiled and
really?
nodded. And I was like, oh, really?
What's his face?
Wow. Yeah. What was it specific? I would like the details because clearly you have this deep rooted hatred for him. I'm so sorry. Whatever your childhood was like.
Is his film work? What?
I know. Poor, I know. But you don't say anything. You just kind of smile and
No,
nod.
that's what I mean. And you just say, go on.
Go
You just-
on,
Yeah,
go on.
Oh, go on.
Please,
Oh,
really.
please. Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, give me more.
Yeah.
Give me more.
You're making my day.
So we like to play a game on this show.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so
I was not told games.
well, it's a standard chess clock, right?
No, I'm just.
So bang, right
Okay.
there. So we're gonna pick a category. Usually, the looser, the better. So it's like again a standard chess clock. So if I hit this, your time goes, and if you hit yours, my
Okay.
time goes until we go down to 0.
Got it, okay.
So we pick a category like whatever street names, and we
Okay.
keep on naming as many street names as we possibly can until
Okay.
we run out of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
dear God. Once I said pressure, no one was told. I was not told games.
So I
And
think.
also shows you that I listen to the podcast a lot if I didn't know there was games.
Hey, we don't do it all the time.
Okay, good.
But I wanted to do it with you because
Okay, good.
I hadn't done it in a while.
Okay, good.
And since when we had Jerry O'Connell on, we gave him sliders.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we ate sliders with the kid from Sliders.
Did you talk about sliders while eating sliders?
Yes, we did.
God, I love sliders.
Absolutely
Sliders
did.
are so
oh
good.
yeah, no, believe me, I got these guys on the mic just so they could talk about sliders, and I was like, get off
When
the
are
show.
they bringing that back?
They're talking about it. I know. So I figure since we did sliders with him, you and we should do types of candy.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, just any kind of candy.
Any kind of candy? Okay.
Yes, you can go nuts. It can be specific brands. It can be just types. It's whatever candy.
Okay.
Okay, so you start us off. You say something, and then you hit your clock, and I'll hit you.
I was like, pressure's on. Wait, hold on. I say the candy, then I hit the clock, and then you go back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Coffee Crisp.
M&Ms,
Kit Kat.
peanut M&Ms.
Warheads.
Lemon heads.
Starburst.
Now I'm thinking of sodas. Skittles.
Aerobar.
Snickers.
Cadbury. Cream eggs.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's specific.
Well, it's just Easter. That's where I went.
Mounds.
Almond Joy.
Ah, damn it! That's where I was going next. Rolo, remember those?
Oh,
yeah.
Score Bar.
Werther's.
Oh my gosh. Why am I blanking on?
I know. See, this game is hard.
Crackle.
Oh, nice. Sweet tarts.
Oh, those are good. Red Vines.
Pixie sticks.
The dots on paper.
Mr. Goodbar. Dots on paper. I'll allow it.
What's the wax bottle thingies? The sip and nip and sip or whatever. I'll go with something else. I can't even think of it.
I know.
This is horrible. Did we say M&Ms yet?
Yes, I did.
Peanut M&Ms.
I already said it.
Peanut butter M&Ms?
There you go. No, that's good. That's good. Take it. What was I thinking of now?
No, I threw you off.
Toblerone.
Oh gosh, now we're going fancy.
Is it a poopy or a Toblerone?
Toblerone. I'm gonna go. Oh, with my fancy. No one's ever heard of it. It's the Hue chocolate. Have you ever heard HU? Fancy organic.
Oh, there you go. Look, I had jelly beans.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, I know, right? See, sometimes you go through this game and you forget the most obvious ones.
The Continental almonds. Those
Continental almonds.
what are they called? The wedding candy. The wedding almonds.
Wedding almonds?
I'm going with it and hitting
Oh,
it.
you know what? I'll allow it. Oh, fuck.
She's not wrong. Wedding almonds.
Wedding almonds. Thank you.
Mars bar.
Milky Way.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. All right. Now I'm starting to run out of...
This is hard.
I know, right? It is. Oh, jeez. Why am I blanking completely? Candy. It's just right there. It's in the aisle. I can see it. I can see it. I'm walking by.
Caramel.
Oh, Reese's Pieces.
Oh, that's good. Paydays.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. See?
Clark bars.
Yeah. I didn't know I'm enjoying Mounds because I just now have that song in my head.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't. I know. I'm trying to think of things. Chocolate covered pretzels.
That works. Did we say Snickers?
Yes. Yes, we did. No,
Oh, we
that's
didn't. Oh, damn, we
time.
didn't.
That's time. I was actually down to 8.5 seconds. 8.4 seconds.
I'm not very good at this.
No, you did great. I was down to 8 seconds. That's
still- okay.
That was a tight match.
That's good.
That was
good.
tight.
That was fun.
That was fucking
That's
tight.
quite challenging.
Right?
And
'Cause-
especially because with my show Couch Candy, I ask all the guests what their favorite candy is, and I was like trying to go
You
through
couldn't
every
even rack
guest,
your brain.
and I was like, I can't even remember what their favorite candy was. Well, surprisingly, a lot of people like black licorice. Ugh.
You didn't say black. You didn't say black licorice.
Now I say black licorice. Now they're all flooding to
Now
me.
it's easy. Okay.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. This game, it seems really easy, and then it's like, yeah, it's brain farts. I mean, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's like the vaguer the subject, the harder it is.
Why did I say continental almonds?
Continental almonds.
What are they also called? I will figure that out.
Continent.
I'm gonna call them
It sounds
continental.
so like
They're-
very dapper.
They're wedding almonds, but they're called something else, and I'm blanking. But I'm going to call them continental
They
almonds.
just sound like dapper.
They are very British,
Dapper nuts.
very proper nuts.
Proper nuts. Proper nuts.
That was fun. Thank you.
Yes. So, listen, we're gonna wrap things up right now for this week. Do you have any of your socials that you want to plug or anything?
Oh,
that kind of
socials!
stuff?
You can follow me on Twitter or on Instagram at the real Jen Candy. That's
Nice.
pretty much it.
The
That's
the real, all one word?
the real. Like, yeah, just because there was another girl that was trying to pretend to be a Jennifer Candy who would actually send. I don't know if it was Jennifer Candy, but she was long story short, I know you're trying to end the show now.
No, we're not in a hurry.
So there was a casting director I was working with, and she came up to me and she says, I just got this letter in the mail, and this woman is going around saying, if John Candy had a daughter, this would be me. And I went,
Go to
I went,
Wikipedia.
what? That's me. And she's like, no. And so she hands me this letterhead, and it's this girl, and she has this envelope, and it's her face on it, and it says, if John Candy had a daughter, you should hire me. And I went, no, but that's
It's me.
But that's me.
But she also took your name too.
But I don't know if she took me
Oh,
or
okay,
she is.
gotcha,
I think she
yeah.
was a Jennifer as well. But it was very bizarre. And I remember looking her up, and I kind of was then in that mood where I was like, "No, I'm going to say the real Jen Candy."
I am
It
the
was just
real one.
I don't know. It was something. I was Dulcis girl for a long time, which just means sweet in Spanish. And my Spanish teacher always used to call me Dulcis girl. And then when everyone be like, "How do they follow you on Instagram?" I'm like, "Dulcis girl," and they're like, "What?" And then I was like, I gotta change it.
No,
anyway.
I gotta keep it real.
I gotta keep it real. So Instagram and Twitter at the real Jen Candy. I promise I won't change it, and that's where I'll be.
All right, cool.
Or you can go to YouTube. I've got some of the Couch Candy shows up there, so people can check that out.
Cool.
And just search Couch Candy, and hopefully that pops up
Yeah, with a C.
with a C.
Yeah,
No,
gotcha.
okay. And not
And
chair
any
candy.
other kind of like things you want to plug? Any
No,
projects?
I'm just,
or anything like
there's,
that?
you know what? I'm Couch. I had a baby, so I've been taking a
Oh
lot.
shit!
Of,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Is it ugly?
No, actually,
really?
I'm so lucky. I
Oh,
did
good for
not get an
you.
ugly baby. I was. He
Oh,
is-
were you worried?
I was, because you just, as a mom, you have to go. No, he's so adorable, no matter
course.
what, and you know.
Yeah.
And deep down, you know that he's not.
Yeah, but no, this one's a good one.
This one, Finley. I lucked out. He's
How old is he?
He's 4 months old right
Oh,
now,
wow.
so
Oh, wow.
he's still
Good
in
for
the.
you.
He's still in the. It's a baby stage, so he looks like a baby. But he's actually I lucked out, so he's great. So I've been busy doing that.
Yeah.
So Couch Candy, I'm gonna come back and do some more shows later on, and I've got some other projects. I've just been auditioning.
Well,
and,
you should invite me. I'll totally talk about your father.
yeah, that'd be great. I
yeah.
would love to have you on the show.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'll probably be your youngest guest.
That'd be, that would be good.
Everyone's in their 60s.
Yeah, actually, I know. Yeah.
60s, 70s.
You'll
Like-
beat Jerry O'Connell because he was probably the youngest,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and now you will be
He's
my
I
youngest.
found out he's 45, so you know. Yeah.
God, he's
I know he looks great
such
though.
an old guy.
I know, but he looks great.
Old man Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah. He lost all that baby weight.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
He's
All that
he-
baby chub. He was really sensitive about it, so I love teasing him about him being a chubby child.
Oh, I think everyone has a chubby child.
Yeah. No, exactly.
You know, it's like we all went through that awkward phase. I think everyone goes through that ridiculously awkward phase of
Yeah. Well, not me. I was adorable. No, just kidding.
totally. Just kidding.
You should have seen the dead eye I got.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were great.
As my husband, as I always say, I was adorable. My husband says, "Oh yeah, with that haircut." I was like, "Fine." True love.
All right, I'm at Incredible Culk at the Instagrams. Or no, that's on the Twitters at Incredible Culk. And Hulk, Culkamania on the Instagrams.
Gotta keep it the same, man. It's confusing.
Well, no, I think
it's fun. It is fun.
I think it's hilarious.
No, it is very fun. It is. I love it. I think it's great.
Come to bunnyears.com for some comedy. And Bunny Ears Web is also on the social. So you can always do that kind of stuff. We also have a voicemail phone number. What is it? It's 8 something something. 845 Easy E Hoax. That's right. 845 Easy E Hoax. And we'll play some fucking voicemails. Yeah, that's the end of the show. Voicemail.
We're always getting voicemails. 845 Easy E Hoax. I said it's 845 Easy E Hoax. It might sound dumb, but it's not a joke. It's 845 Easy E Hoax. Voicemails.
Everyone named Tim is a pervert. Everyone named Tim is a pervert. Pervert. Pervert.
Hi. Today my doctor told me that I have a long vagina.
Hey, Macaulay. I'm Leslie. I'm 55. I'm home alone. That's kind of fucking scary. But just wanted to say hi. Good luck on the podcast. Cool. Great to see you. I've been watching you since you was a little one. Bye.
Hey, my name is Tesla. I just wanted to say, suck my dick.
Find me, gag me, take me to the bunny ranch.
You are freaking lumberjack!